Papa, he
Ask
calls
us
me
to hear you. You kept saying it. Now whenever he dies, you should hear him doctor himself.
to watch over me. Oh, my Papa, he can't like to say as you go away. Don't forget where you came. If you lose your way, you can pray. Don't be afraid, don't lose faith. You will find your help, there'll be a way. Just remember to pray and you'll be okay.
Dad is a wonderful person.
He was honest, he was brave, he was caring, he was funny.
One of the most intelligent people I ever met.
He was an awesome father, was lively, always have a joke for somebody. At every time he has a joke to crack with people. Loving father. He did his best when he was alive to make us happy.
Has interest in everything his children are doing.
Father-in-law was a rare gem, one man of a kind. From the first day I met him, there was this special aura about him that just made you love him.
I brought my husband home to meet my family, and he mentioned his son name. My dad was excited. That is Sonny Panko's son. That is Sonny Panko's son name. I said, yes, I'm Sonny Panko's child. And everything from there became very easy. My father accepted him wholeheartedly. Why? Because of my father-in-law. He was a very upright man that loved the Lord, didn't cut corners. He would tell you the truth no matter how bitter it was.
Never afraid to say what was on his mind, very articulate, and then brutally honest, you know. Probably that's why the political class weren't very comfortable with him, you know. At some point they were trying to skim him out.
My dad was always there for his children. He was always there for his family. My dad was always there for anyone he knew needed need. He could even displease himself, displease us to please outsiders. He did a lot of impact in people's lives. He employs several persons in the government who are working, who are big boys and girls in the government today. Some of them still come here. Even when he died, now some of them are still coming here to pay homage and so on.
He casually helped install a local council chairman. At a point, he endorsed many political candidates that won elections. He represented his local government area in the State House of Assembly and made statewide political impact.
And he brought the Polytechnic to Zoro. When he entered the House of Assembly, he said the only thing, he was telling Ibori, he said the only thing that I came here for is to bring back the Polytechnic that was taken from Zoro. So that is my only aim of coming here. And thank God, God being faithful, he achieved that aim. A man that will give his last to help other people. We met at the library in Ole when I went on meet and break to see my parents. And just right then, he told me that you are my wife. I said, how can you talk like that? I don't know you. How can you call me wife? He said no, but he was, as he saw me, he knew something told him that you are my wife. So I said, well, I don't know you. I cannot say the same thing of you. He followed me to the house. He saw off my friend, Sister Immaculate Vehicle, and he came back. He spent the whole day with me. I was wondering what kind of man is this? You just met me. We are go now. He wouldn't go. Then, coincidentally, he was spending some time in Benin. and that was living in Benin to Benin City then. I only came for the break to see my parents, and when I went home, I gave him my address. He came looking for me, the school where I was teaching, and that is how we started a relationship. He loves his children so much. He loves his children. He cares for them. He wants the best for them. And he did his best for them.
I remember as a child, then when he goes to work, my father makes sure when he's coming back from work every day, there's this particular snacks, they call it chipitos then in Lagos. Every day he bought it. Every blessed day he's coming back from work, we all know that there must be something for us.
When he was editor in Daily Times, then we used to live at Idimo in Lagos. In the morning, he will wake up very early at about 5 a.m. and he has what they call a bull walker then. It was used in exercising. He would do his exercise rounds for about 30 minutes. Then he'll wake us up, we'll go have our bath, then he'll drop us off at school before he goes to work. And when he comes back, the first thing he will, once we're welcoming him, as we're rushing to him, daddy, daddy, after hugging us, then he will always bring a snack, as he gives it to us. The next thing you hear is 4 times 6. And then we'll be like, 24. What? What did you say? And, we'll be very scared then. But they'll say, look at you. So you're not even sure of your times table, And he did that every day. So whenever I was going to work, he'll say, okay, you 12 times table. Uto, 7 and 8. Ubure, 4, 5, 6. When I come back, you better make sure you recite every single one of them. And I will be like, okay. And then we'll come back from school. Maybe when we're playing, when it gets like 4 o'clock, we'll say, hey, Daddy also come on. Any moment from now, the man will start leaving the office. So then we'll now rush to the back of my exercise books and start reciting the times table, And then during the weekends, every weekend, then he'll take us to Bar Beach then in Lagos.
Do morning devotions, and he sing Isoko hymns. I still hear his voice in my head singing the Isoko hymns. He had an Isoko hymn book.
I always enjoy him during prayers. He would say, count your blessings. And after singing the song, he would say, no, count them. And we'll start thinking, say, remember when God did this for you? Remember when God did that for you? Remember, he would start, even in the midst of prayers, he'll say, no, you've forgotten something, remember.
Every morning, on my way to work, maybe I stop by on my way to work, and he will look at me. Have you had breakfast? I'll say, Daddy, no, I'm not interested. He say, no, come and take a cup of tea. That's how he calls it. A cup of tea. Come and take a cup of tea. And he forces me to take tea every time I come to him in the morning before I go to work. That's not a memory that I can forget. Sometimes when I'm at work, I'll just say, oh, if my dad was alive, I'm sure maybe if I stopped by this morning, he would have given me tea. He's a very family-oriented person. He has a social life, but I think his social life is very minimal. Maybe because he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, so his social life is very minimal. So that made him become very family oriented.
In the evenings, just like this traditional tales by moonlight thing, then he'll bring us out, under the moonlight, and he'll start telling us folk tales. He paid attention to us, not just our well-being academically. We had fun together. He was a very, very well-rounded family man who, I don't think I could wish for a better father.
My dad was a very selfless man when it comes to Isoko. Whatever he wanted to do, he would want to do. Well, what of the Isoko nation? What of the Isoko people? What of the Isoko this? What of the Isoko that? And I'm like, Daddy, live for yourself. And he's like, no, I cannot live for myself. I have to live for my people. He was an extremely selfless man, and by the grace of God, you would see that from the mammoth of people that are here for his burial.
Almost every moment I spent with him was fun. Almost every moment.
Growing up, my dad and my mom had a very close relationship.
Only true friend was my mom, because from when I was a little boy up until his last moments, it was a habit, you know. Then when I was small, I wonder what do these people wake up every 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. talking about till daybreak, you know. They'll wake up in the morning, we'll just be hearing their voices, you know. It was a norm growing up.
Dad and his wife, they were they were Tom and Jerry. They were best friends. They were best friends. They were best friends. They would quarrel, but their quarrel would not be longer. It would not be longer than 20 seconds. I can remember, and he always looks for a way to resolve it almost immediately. I can remember one time where himself and my mom, they were arguing, and he said, when I get to heaven, if you go to hell, if you beg me what I will not give you. And immediately they started laughing and they resolved the issue.
They did everything together, and let me tell you, in as much as they quarrel, they are very close. When you see them quarreling sometimes, you would think that, oh no, this marriage has ended. But the very next minute, you see the same two of them eating again, playing again, and laughing.
Even we had a lot of misunderstanding. We quarreled a lot, but then our quarreling was just, I can't really describe, because we quarrel and immediately we are back to friendship again. He's the only man that can understand me in that area. And I think I'm the only person too that can understand him in that area. When he's angry with me, or when I do something that he doesn't like, he will talk. Or maybe and immediately we finishes talking. It won't take up to 2 minutes, we are back together. There was a day I cannot forget that a friend of his was around, was not far off. Then we were having a hot argument.
Time he heard them quarreling, this man called me from my house and was screaming, will you run down, your parents are quarreling, oh, this marriage has broken, it is not nice. I was laughing, I said, uncle, leave them alone.
That one was saying, what will make this beautiful couple to be quarreling like this? Oh God, please don't let them. He was praying to, don't let them to scatter, don't let them to break up, because the argument was very hot. As that man was praying, then myself and my husband, we look at the man and we look at ourselves and we started laughing. So the man said, oh, so you people are just toying with our emotions like this? So these are you people? Any quarrel, we were having problems or not, because whether in problem we were quarreling or not, we are still the same couple. We still go back immediately to ourselves. Even the children know that one. So, and I think that is a very, very good way to keep on going in marriage.
When it was looking like he wasn't getting better, I kept telling him, Daddy, what will I tell mommy? What will I tell mommy? You better try, because I don't know what to tell her. And he would just look at me and he would turn away his eyes. I knew each time I reminded him of his wife, I saw the pain in his eyes at that time. And I knew that was one of the things that were bothering him as he was going, because he was wondering what was going to happen to her. And it wasn't very easy breaking the news to her. To show you how bad it was, we had to keep that, we had to keep his death a secret from her for more than 2 weeks before we were able to break it to her, because we knew it was going to be terrible if we had done that immediately. Those two people call them two peas in a pod, and I just pray that God helps my mom throughout this period. God has been faithful so far, and I know He will continue being faithful to us.
Thank you a lot, Daddy. You know, it's never been the same without you. Little did I know how much I still needed you around. But I'm happy knowing that you're in heaven. And I think the only thing I owe you now is to make you proud wherever you are, and to do right by the family name like you have always done, and to make sure your legacy lives on forever, to take it a notch higher as it ought to be. I miss you and I love you very much.
Life is not measured in years, Daddy. Life is measured in impact. Life is measured in how well you have done. Life is measured especially by assignment. You're an angel watching over us now. I tell people my dad has not died, my dad has only transcended. And I know, Daddy, that you're up there watching over us. I would always love you. I can never stop mourning you until the day I know that you ought to have been 90 years. I would always try to live with your legacy and try to also ensure that the waters of life would never wash away your footprints from the sound of time. I love you, Daddy. I love you.
Daddy, you know I love you so much, and every day is hard. I keep praying for God's grace, and God has been faithful. I try not to dwell on our rituals, try not to dwell on things we do together, but I know you're resting in peace. I know heaven has gained an angel. Most of all, I'm happy. I know you made heaven. I'm happy we were able to rededicate our lives to Christ just at that particular time. And I know heaven has gained an angel. May your soul rest in peace. May your soul rest in peace. I will always love you, your baby girl.
I know that he was dead till about 2 weeks after. And I was always praying for him, talking to him. But we've spent a lot of good times together. And life was fun. We're like brothers and sisters. You know, Paul, you could be stubborn sometimes, but that stubbornness was what really endeared you to me. I miss you, Paul. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you, Paul. If there is anything like coming back to life, if it is possible, that will come to this world again, I will still marry you. I love you, Paul.
Love you, Dad. I really do. Rest in peace. And if there is an afterlife, then I hope we'll meet again. Thank everyone for coming in person. Unfortunately, circumstances didn't make it possible even for me, so I can understand, you know, whatever kind of support people have contributed so far to this process. It's he goes a long way, that's for sure. And thank you guys very much for coming through, and God bless you all.
Those of you who have come to celebrate with us today in memory of our late father, thank you very much for everything you have done for us. We say thank you for coming to celebrate with us, and may God grant you all journey mercies back home, back to your destinations from far and wide. Some people came so from different places. I say thank you, and God bless you. Grant you journey mercies back home. Thank you.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all